भाइयों और बहनों द बाप WP शो. Hey folks, welcome to the Bob WP show. As I announced earlier, we're going to do a spotlight on a meetup, and the first spotlight that we're doing is on the Goa meetup group, WordPress Goa, and we have the organizers of the group, Abhishek, Prabhu, and Siddharth, Ashok with us. You might have met them at different WordCamps. If you haven't, you will meet them at another WordCamp. Let me ask Siddharth and Abhishek to introduce themselves.
Hey guys, this is Siddharth. I'm basically a front-end developer who also does WordPress. So I do WordPress theme and plugin development. I work here with a small web agency called Next Big Thing in Goa. And initially we started doing WordPress projects, and now we are focused completely on WordPress projects. So most of the clients we are doing just WordPress projects. So yeah, that's what we do.
Hey guys. Yeah, so I work with WordPress. I've worked with WordPress for quite some time. I used to work with Sid and used to work with this company in Goa called Next Big Thing. In fact, I still do sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm freelancing. I'm currently freelancing. I work with a couple of exciting startups in Goa and Bombay and Chennai. So I've been concentrating on a lot of WordPress stuff and been looking forward to doing and very excited on doing WordPress stuff off late, because there's a lot of people who are using it as a platform more than just blogging on it. And it's created a very exciting ecosystem and a very exciting community in India. And it's very exciting to be part of this community, especially in Goa.
When I speak to a lot of meetup organizers, the common thing is that the ones who organize, there are 2-3 people who organize. They're regular at every meetup, but others usually don't turn up at, people come very sporadically, very rarely. So how's your meetup? How's your community? Are there a lot of regular members?
Well, from my observation, there have been a couple of people who've been regular. In Goa, the community is kind of small currently. I mean, right now it's we know most of the companies which are there in Panjim. Some companies in Povaram actually join.
Are there a lot of companies in Goa that work with WordPress? As in, I'm not saying exclusively, but are there a lot of agencies that
In
work with
fact,
WordPress?
I've noticed some companies work exclusively with WordPress. Again, startups working on websites for small and medium enterprises.
So we haven't seen
Yes.
these agencies in the community generally, as in we haven't noticed them, or they're not. Because honestly, I did not know that there are a lot of agencies in Goa working with WordPress.
Well, there are companies based here who have been working with WordPress, who work for, some of them work, I think Janosch's company does WordPress stuff. They're a German company. So they do a lot of stuff for German clients. And there are a couple of other guys who do stuff for local businesses and for restaurants and for hotels. And the hospitality industry is very big in Goa. So there's always some opportunity for a lot of these hospitality websites getting online, getting an online booking system on. And so there are small companies over here which have been focusing on that. But no one who's really been very active with the community as such. I mean, they've come, they've said, hi, do you use WordPress? A lot of people still say no, surprisingly, which is kind of weird, but you pointed it out and you showed that this is WordPress. Oh, yeah.
So how much is the involvement? He's saying that they turn up sometimes and all. Are the agencies not very involved in the community?
No, actually, the thing is when we started this WordPress Goa community, a lot of people showed up. If you see in our first few meetups, they were very successful. And then again, as I said, the people are not that very active. The tech community is still growing. What you say, there are few communities who are doing things. Like one is WordPress community, then there's Goa Web Folks and small meetups. But slowly people are realizing that we should come out and do meetups and we should participate in that. But talking about the agencies who contribute, like this, my agency, we are active in that. And then recently we moved to a new premises where I'm sitting right now.
But Sid's agency has been very proactive on WordPress meetups. They sponsor most of it, give the event space.
Are there other people who are like more regular, like freelancers? And how about freelancers and designers? I'm pretty sure because I know a couple of
Yep.
friends who are in Goa who are designers
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So that I was telling, like especially like freelancers and bloggers, they are pretty active in Goa. So most of them, like they are travel bloggers and fashion bloggers. They are pretty active in the community. So every time we have, even though we have developer focused meetup, like they show up just for the sake of community and all. There are a lot of WordPress users and then active WordPress developers in the community. So we do one meetup focused on developers and one week meetup focused on users. So the current meetup, which I just announced today, is focused on users. So like it will be helpful for bloggers to come and see like there's a guy who will be talking about blogging, how it's helpful for your business and brand. And then I will be giving some insights on how to improve user experience on your blog and stuff like that. And then we can have a networking session and yeah, beer and stuff like that. So it's pretty common in Goa.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have one more question. Now this I ask to every meetup organizer. There are two kinds of meetups that we do. One is where it's a casual meetup. People come down, have coffee, beer, whatever, and a little chat, and then go back. So the other is where we have like a formal session where there's a possibly an expert who's giving a talk on a topic, which is like a mini word camp. Like, which one tends to attract more people to meetups?
So like from our experience, we have seen like the formal meetup when we have an agenda or when we have a person talking who is an expert, people come to show up more rather than when I just announce let's hang out for WordPress. Then some people think, we should go or we should rather go to a party or rather come here. It's a Friday evening. That's why like on most of our meetups, we usually have someone talking and then people come up after that talk, like a small talk, we can always, network and talk and stuff like that. The same thing will happen, but usually when there is an objective or agenda, I think that works better.
When I speak to the Mumbai organizers, they are of the view that they should do more beginner workshops, more outreach to because beginner workshops are like more useful for newcomers. So they're planning to do more of that. Even in Ahmedabad, Nagpur, I think Nashik as well. So the strategy that these guys are using to like grow the meetup group is to go to colleges and do workshops. Are there such avenues in Goa? Do you have any such plans?
Yeah, so we've been doing it. We've been in touch with SIBA. I told you about this, Sid. I don't know if you remember, but it was quite recently, in fact. SIBA, the Center of Business Incubation, they actually operate out of a college in South Goa, and they were pretty interested in getting students involved in these activities because a lot of these students were actually getting jobs and then suddenly coming across problems of using an intranet or using something else which they wanted to cook up and they didn't have the skills. So, and something like WordPress really exposes them to a platform where they can actually do a lot of stuff for whatever mini communities they have in their groups and work and fun related activities. So basically they wanted a couple of us to come down and actually give them talks for starting how to use WordPress and how you could make plugins and how you could customize it and how you could make themes and stuff like that. So I think it's definitely picking up.
Yeah, we have tried hackathon too, but that didn't work out as we planned. So, what we did sort of like, we decided like, okay, let's start from the beginning. Like we will have a hackathon in which we'll build a theme from scratch just for our community, WP Goa community. But then, we are developers and we kept on building on it and it's pretty advanced. The overall project became too advanced. Like, people can have events and meetup from meetup.com API, it should automatically do that and do this and stuff like that. So in the end, like in the meetup day, like hardly like 5 people showed up. So it means we just did little bit of stuff. I mean, we plan to do like a proper hackathon in which we start from the beginning and stuff. But yeah, we will plan something again, learning from it and pretty.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a learning experience.
So. Yeah.
So I feel like, things that you're trying now are things that somebody already tried and failed at. Like honestly, because I can't talk about a lot of other meetup groups. But in Pune, we tried to have hackathons twice, and we didn't have like a normal hackathon where we build a website for our meetup group. So we collaborated with something called as Do Action, founded in South Africa. So the idea is that you build websites for local NGOs. So the last time we did it, we did not know about Do Action and we did it by ourselves. We thought we'll do this. And then this year we tried to do it as Do Action. But first we did not get enough NGOs properly, and we didn't have enough people and enough motivation to back it. So that is also an issue. So a lot of things that different meetup groups in India are doing, and all of them have gained a lot of perspective from those things that can be generalized. Like some of them are very local, but some things are very general. So I think we should, like as meetup organizers, we should keep talking to each other more often.
Yeah, exactly. Like again, the thing comes up like, when you're having a meetup, like usually, as I told, we have to have some agenda. So like, okay, thinking the topics, another thing, and and finding people who are willing to talk or something. So if you have a fixed schedule of things to do and things to, that will make things easy, I would say.
That is also an issue, right? Like if so, we don't get a lot of speakers also. But
No,
fortunately,
I push people. It's fine. Like I push people, and I tell them you have to speak. That's it. And, so
we've got some
I'm
good
fortunate.
talks. Yeah, we got some really good presentations by people who
Yeah,
just
like
random.
actually, I'm not joking. Like few of our meetups were really, really good. Like as far as WordCamps, I could say like some of the talks and stuff. So like people who are pushing like when is WordCamp happening in Goa, I tell them like, dude, every meetup is like a mini WordCamp. You should just find a reason to come to Goa. Just come to Goa, and
yeah. So in fact, I guess like most people have anyways try and have vacation in Goa all the time.
yeah.
So if people are watching this, if you are in Goa for your vacation, just check the meetup group if there is a meetup there. If there is
But
no
they do
meetup,
that.
and you're like five,
Yeah,
six people who all know WordPress, you can contact Siddharth or Abhishek and get a meetup organized, I guess.
certainly. Like for example, one time I remember the team from RT Camp, they were traveling and they came and crashed our meetup group. So like it was so nice of them. And then
Yeah.
Vachan and other guys from Kolhapur, they were traveling to Goa and they ended at our meetup.
So all of them coordinated, planned, and went together from like Mumbai and Pune. In fact, that I see that a lot of people from outside want to, make a plan and go to Goa and attend a meetup. That's one of the reasons why people are so excited for a WordCamp
Yeah.
in Goa. कि WordCamp होगा तो सब मिलके जाएंगे वगैरह वगैरह.
बिल्कुल.
Is by default the prominent industry in Goa is tourism and hospitality, and this is bound to happen. There are going to be at any given time more than the local community or more than a regular local community. There will be a lot of outsiders working with WordPress who will come to Goa from time to time. So do you have any thoughts or any plans? Let's make a plan so that outsiders, we approach outsiders who coming to Goa and get them involved in the community, even if it's seasonal. So are there any plans in that direction?
Like usually we do that like on the same what you're talking, like for example, if you remember, you have a WordCamp in Pune and there was a speaker, Andy. Yeah, we asked him if he is willing to come to Goa, and then he came, and then we asked him to speak, and same I asked with Rahul and stuff. So we keep track of it. Like if someone, for example, if you are coming to Goa and we know that, then of course I will insist you to talk on something on that. So we keep track of that.
So I guess the moral of the story is that everybody in the WordPress community who's watching this, and anytime you're going to Goa, make sure you ping these guys before you go. Like try and find out if there is something there which you can get involved in.
We will host you with a lot of snacks and beers and like just chill.
Absolutely.
So what are your plans now onwards? Like what are you planning next with the meetup group?
Yeah, we will be focusing on building more community. So right now I'm looking for more volunteers to be more active. Right now, like only me and Abhishek were doing stuff. So I have two more people who want to actively participate in that, and so like it was more centered on us only right now. Okay, we are free, we don't have many things to do, let's schedule a meetup. But now we talk to the community, like this meetup, we discussed with everyone when should we have it. Okay, 18th is fine, then we should have it and stuff like that. And then what topic? So getting more people involved rather than just us deciding things. So building the community. So once that happens and a lot of people are getting involved, then we can always, look into the direction of WordCamp or something like that.
I also realized that your companies support your involvement in the community. You get time to do that. That's very fortunate. But in India, a lot of I also know this that a lot of agencies, especially Indian agencies, local agencies, don't have this concept of there is a community and you have to go and volunteer give your time, etc. That concept is very alien. Is that true in Goa as well?
Yep, I think it depends on company to company. Like, but I know what you're talking about. There are companies in Goa too which have these kind of policies. Like, they don't allow their employees free time for meetups and stuff like that, and they don't appreciate or encourage them to join for meetups and stuff. But then, as I told you, like, there are more startup kind of art focused and more open environment kind of companies in Goa. So like our agency, then Diet Code and other people. So we encourage involvement in the community. We encourage like different kind of meetups. So like Diet Code have a nice culture. On every Wednesday, someone will come up and do a stand-up talk on any topic. So they encourage talking also and stuff like that. We have another company, Deeper, which give, again, runs other websites. So they promote through that. Like they announce our meetups in their active startup Goa community and stuff like that. So means people like to get involved, but not everyone.
So I hope this gets out to more people in Goa, outside Goa, and your community grows. And we'll definitely try and have that event nicely, and maybe that will fuel a WordCamp in Goa.
Certainly,
So
certainly.
all the audience members who want to have a WordCamp in Goa, this is kind of your responsibility to come down to Goa, participate in Goa. If you have people in Goa, tell them to reach out to these two guys. Will we see you in some WordCamp?
I was just now at WordCamp Kanpur, and now I think I will attend WordPress Nasik.
When is WordCamp Nasik? I've not been keeping.
No, but they've announced. I think they announced the date.
Last time me and Abby drove from Goa to Nasik, it was an adventure ride. I think we will do the same again.
So cool, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me, for sharing all the news and interesting stuff about the WordPress community in Goa. And I wish you all the best for all your endeavors now onwards. I hope like we'll see more about the Goa community on Facebook, on Twitter. Because शुरू में बहुत buzz था. Like if you remember, initially there was a lot of buzz for the WordPress community. बीच में थोड़ा ठंडा पड़ गया.
Yeah. So no, फिर से we are doing like we have planned everything, and now we are starting it all again. Hopefully, like we will have you will listen a lot about us in the future. And thanks for having us, Saurabh, and a really great job you're doing in highlighting the WordPress communities and all the things happening in WordPress in Goa.
So folks, those were the organizers of WordPress Goa. As you would have seen a special video, during this conversation we started planning for an event which will happen towards the end of September. Next week is the last episode of this season, the season finale. And it's gonna be a real special episode. I have a lot of guests for this episode. I have with me Aditya Kane and Alexander Gounder, who are the organizers of the longest running WordCamp in India, WordCamp Mumbai. They're also deputies, so they have a different kind of perspective than a regular WordCamp organizer has. And we have Bigul Malay, who's the organizer of WordCamp Kochi, Harshad Mane, who's the organizer of WordCamp Nashik. WordCamp Nashik is just about to start in November. We also have Abhishek Deshpande, who's the organizer of WordCamp Nagpur. And all these WordCamp organizers, community organizers are coming together to talk about one of the hottest topics that we are going to cover on this show. And the topic is WordCamp India. So we're going to talk about whether we're going to have WordCamp India. If so, when, what are the things that we need to do, and if it makes sense at all. So join me next week for the last and the final episode of the first season of the WWP show. Until then, bye-bye.
The WP show.